So if you've ever tried to send a text message from your business, you've probably felt this pain. One minute, everything's working just fine, and the next, your messages are getting blocked, and you have absolutely no idea why. Well, today, we're going to dive into this and demystify the whole new world of 10 DLC compliance. Let's get into it.
Here's what we've got on tap. We're going to start by laying out the problem in the business texting minefield. Then we'll talk about the serious risks in the high cost of failure. After that, we'll shift gears into the solution with a pre-flight check. Look at the toolkit you'll need, and finally, see how to scale up by building your compliance engine. All right, Section 1, the business texting minefield. I mean, really, why has sending a simple text from your company become so darn complicated? This is the question, right? This is the one that sends so many businesses down a compliance rabbit hole. Your appointment reminders, your marketing alerts, even your two-factor authentication codes, they just stop getting through. To figure out why, we need to get on the same page with a few key terms. First up is A2P. That stands for Application-to-Person Messaging. It's the official industry term for any text sent from a piece of software or an application to a real person. This is totally different from P2P, or person-to-person, which is just, you texting a friend. And the big mobile carriers like Verizon and T-Mobile, they now treat A2P traffic very, very differently.
And that difference brings us to 10DLC. It stands for 10-digit long code. This is the new gold standard for A2P messaging. The good news is it lets you use a normal, local 10-digit phone number that people recognize. The catch? It comes with a whole new set of rules and registration requirements.
So who's the referee in all of this? That would be the Campaign Registry, or TCR. Just think of TCR as the central gatekeeper, kind of like the bouncer at the club. You have to register your brand and your specific messaging campaigns with them, things like marketing promotions or account alerts, to get the green light from the mobile carriers. Okay, so what happens if you decide not to play by these new rules? Well, that leads us straight into Section 2, the high cost of failure. And believe me, the risks here are very real. This really shows you how it all starts to stack up. It starts with your messages being filtered, or worse, just blocked entirely. Then, your delivery speed gets throttled way down. Your sender reputation takes a nosedive, and before you know it, you're paying rejection fees and facing some serious financial penalties. It's a real snowball effect. And that financial risk is no joke. The Telephone Consumer Protection Act, or TCPA, carries fines of up to $1,500 per message. So just imagine sending a non-compliant text blast to 1,000 people. Yeah, you can do the math. The potential liability here is absolutely staggering. Now, beyond getting legal consent, the carriers are also filtering your actual content. They use this acronym SHAFT to flag prohibited topics: sex, hate, alcohol, firearms, and tobacco. But it's not just those. Their automated filters can also get tripped up by high-risk keywords like loan or guarantee. Sending anything in these categories is pretty much a surefire way to get your number blocked. Okay, that was all the bad news. The good news? Most of these problems are totally preventable. So let's talk solutions in Section 3, your pre-flight compliance check. This is all about being proactive instead of reactive.
I love this analogy because it's so perfect. A pilot would never just guess if their plane is ready for takeoff, right? And you shouldn't be guessing if your messaging campaign is compliant. Running these checks before you launch is exactly what prevents a disaster once your messages are in the air.
So the key is to focus on the 3 most common reasons campaigns fail. First, verify your identity. Is your legal business name the same as what's on your tax ID and your website? Second, select the right use case. Are you sending marketing texts or just account alerts? Misclassifying this accounts for a whopping 40% of all rejections. And third, you got to validate the message content itself. This right here is a perfect example of that identity problem we just talked about. This single issue accounts for about 25% of all TCR rejections. Look, you might have your legal name registered as Acme Corp LLC, but your website domain is registered a little differently. To a person, that seems like no big deal, but to an automated vetting system, that's a huge red flag and an immediate rejection. So, how do you actually run all these checks without pulling your hair out? Well, that brings us to Section 4, assembling your toolkit. The good news is you don't have to do this stuff manually. There are tools out there designed to make this whole process way easier. This table gives you a great idea of how different solution bundles can grow with your business. A starter pack usually covers those 3 core checks we talked about: identity, use case, and content. As you scale up, you'll see growth packages that add cool tools for simulating trust scores or calculating ROI.
And for the really big teams, the professional bundles often include tools to help you fix rejected campaigns and monitor everything in real time.
And this chart really spells it out in dollars and cents. Bundling these tools isn't just about having a more efficient workflow, it can lead to some pretty significant savings. We're talking up to 37%, compared to trying to piece everything together yourself.
Okay, for our final section, let's look at how this whole thing scales up for larger organizations. Section 5. Building your compliance engine. This is where we make the leap from having a collection of tools to having a fully managed enterprise-grade platform.
For a business that's growing fast, a core subscription might be all you need. You get great features like a custom domain and managed hosting, but an enterprise suite, that takes it to a whole other level. We're talking a fully white-labeled experience for your brand, a dedicated account manager, exportable audit logs for your legal team, and even multilingual support.
And at that enterprise level, you can get access to some incredibly powerful services, a regulatory alert service that keeps you one step ahead of policy changes, remediation packages that basically give you a playbook for fixing campaigns that get rejected. You can even get checklists tailored for platforms like Twilio, or tap into a database of past campaign approvals to see what actually works.
So after going through all of this, if there's one thing to take away, it's this. You have to reframe how you think about compliance. It's not just some frustrating cost you have to deal with. It's a strategic investment. It's an investment in making sure your messages actually get delivered and in protecting the reputation of your brand.
And that leaves us with one final simple question for you to think about when it comes to your own messaging strategy. Right now, are you stuck in a loop of just fixing problems as they pop up? Or are you proactively building a system to prevent them from ever happening in the first place?